Hey guys, this is Bobo515. I'm here with a nice little first-time scripted video about the Overwatch SR system. I've had a lot of time in Overwatch. I've played a lot of competitive, not really that much competitive, but I've played since release, and I've played since the first day of competitive, which was in second season that Overwatch was actually physically out. And I'm here to tell you some things that I think are pretty poor about the Overwatch system as it stands right now, and what I think is weird about it. It's got a wacky ranking system. SR gains from matches are uneven sometimes. Sometimes you can get 90 to just 4. I've seen examples of that. It also has seasons. The seasons aren't necessary, really, and placements aren't necessary either. Placements aren't necessary at all. They don't provide you with any other chance to be placed well. I know in Season 2, I had a bad placement in Season 1, and I tried to get better placement in Season 2, and I just ended up right where I was, even though I did really well. They halted players' abilities to play during off-season. Now, that's not a huge issue. It's just not for any good purpose either. We'd be better off without seasons overall, because they don't provide anything, or they don't bring anything to the table. Honestly, placements should be just a one-time thing, and replacing it with just having an ongoing season, just mention seasons, but don't make it have any consequence on the actual competitive game mode itself. Honestly, their SR system is also pretty not fun. The SR revamped system that I've made is in this math equation that, yes, I seriously made in class one day when I was bored and not paying attention to my government teacher. Now, X represents your personal SR, Y represents your team's average SR, including your own, Z represents the enemy team's average SR, and W represents the base SR amount for a win or loss. It's basically the amount you get if everybody's even on the same playing field in terms of SR. So, the equation goes like this. W times, in brackets, Z minus, in parentheses, 2 times Y over 3 plus X over 3, in parentheses, over 500 plus 1, close bracket. Yeah, it's easier to see that instead of actually read that out. I'm gonna just continue on with the losers. The losers equation is pretty much entirely the same thing, except there's a negative added to the W, and the equation has been flopped around a little bit so that it's a little bit more fair and understandable. The tie is basically just the winner without the +1. I know that's complex, but let me roll this up into an example so you can understand it a little bit better. So let's say the base amount of SR you want to get is 25. It's the amount you get for winning if you are completely even in a match, if everybody has the same exact SR. Let's say we have your SR, which for simplicity's sake is 2000. You go and play, and the team's average SR, with yours factored in, just happens to also be very simple, 2500. The enemy's average SR is also 2500. What if you win in this scenario? Well, let's calculate. We plug in all the information and we solve. Multiply this by 2, divide a whole bunch, subtract, divide again, and put that 1 right there, and multiply this decimal by our base SR delta, and voila! 33.3 repeating is what we get for SR at the end of the match. We get a little extra than the others on our team because they have 2500 SR and we have less personal SR. So we get a small disadvantage based on skill. So we get rewarded more for winning in that scenario. But what if you lost that same match? Let's calculate again. We plug in all the information again, multiply, divide, yada yada, and here we have it, negative 16.6 repeating. That's what we lose. We lose less SR in this scenario of failure for the same reasons we get more SR for winning in that matchup. Because it's kind of expected more so for us to lose because of our SR. But there's a chance of tying. Well, the results of this is the same as taking the win formula and subtracting W, as I mentioned earlier, which in our case is 25. 33.3 repeating minus 25 is 8.3 repeating. Logic behind that is that you still broke even when the odds were stacked against you. Now, this influence you have on the SRs is just based off of yours versus everyone else's. Now, imagine how much you'd get for winning against a team in an underdog story. This system will always match you with the average SR of your career peak and your current SR, meaning your career peak plus your current SR. which in a lot of cases your current SR and your peak SR are pretty much the same, but it will count your current SR through the system. That means if you get a massive losing streak, recovering is a lot easier. With all this considered, my personal system has flaws too, as well as the current Overwatch system. I don't have any personal performance variables in there, but I'll update this equation in the future to accommodate that. I'll post a Dropbox link in the comments once I have that figured out. Tell me what you think about what I propose for a new Overwatch system. Is it good? Do you think I should tweak the impact of SR on wins and losses? Do you think performance should even matter? Please tell me down below, and that's it. Thank you for watching and have a good day. P.S. I also included an annotation Easter egg somewhere in this video. Try to find it. Okay, bye.